is a little different problem from chapter 5.4 where you're finding the probability of the sample proportion. It says about 77% of all female heart transplant patients will survive for at least 3 years. 105 female heart transplant patients are randomly selected. What is the probability that the sample proportion surviving for at least 3 years will be less than 70%? Interpret your results. Assume the sampling distribution of sample proportions, and I made a little error here, is a normal distribution. The mean, I should have looked over this, of the sample proportion is equal to the population proportion P, and the standard deviation is equal to the square root of PQ over N. So this one, to use the calculator, that's all we're going to look at here. Your P is less than 70% comes from here. Your mean is 0.77 because that's the percentage of the people who will survive at least 3 years. That's the mean percentage. And the standard deviation, we're told, is PQ over N. Well, N is 105 because the sample space is 105. P is 0.77, and to get the 23, the 0.23, you take 100 minus 0.77 and you get 0.23. Now if you multiply those two and then divide it by 105 and take the square root, you'll get this, 0.0411. So that gives you the standard deviation. You have the mean, you have what X is, or what P is, what it's going to be less than. So what you want to do is you want to go to the calculator and you're going to go to second distribution, and you're going to use the normal cumulative distribution here. And so we use negative 10,000 as the lower bound because this says it's less than 70%. And this, then you're going to put a comma, you're going to put what your P is, you're going to put what, well, that's really P hat because it's less than 70%. This is really your P, 0.77, and here's your standard deviation because remember your mean was the 77% that survived for 3 years. So when you put that in, you're going to get 0.0442 and so on, and you're going to round that off to about 4.5% because if you move this decimal 2 places, it's really about 4.4, but a lot of times we'll round up to 4.5. If you happen to miss the percentage by a point or two, if you'll just let me know, I'll go into your quiz and look and I can change your grade. But this is your interpretation. About 4.5% of samples of 105 female heart transplant patients will have a mean 3-year survival rate less than 70%. So that's your interpretation. Now we're going to scoot over to the calculator, and I'm going to show you how to do this on the calculator. Okay, so you're going to go second distribution. After I turn it on, I'm going to go second distribution, and the second choice is here, and I'm going to put negative 10,000, and remember to use the correct negative sign, comma, and then I'm going to put 0.70, comma, 0.77, comma, and 0.0411, and close my parentheses, hit enter, and there's your answer.